On this episode of We're No Damn Experts, Rebecca and Maddie share with you their perfect winter itineraries for Great Falls, Montana, and how you can win these experiences for yourself. So stay tuned to find out how you can easily win.
Best damn podcast, the best damn town. You want to get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames, if you want to go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
This is going to be the best episode ever. We're talking about winter wonderland. That is Great Falls, Montana. Welcome to the greatest damn town, Great Falls. I'm your host, Rebecca Ingham.
And I'm your co-host, Maddie Hazard.
We couldn't be happier to be here visiting with you today.
And a reminder, we're no damn experts. I had a leader on. I did.
That's all right. It's Monday while we're recording.
Yes.
It could be the most off Monday I have had. I'm going to go in 2020.
We've been hitting it hard here in Great Falls, Montana tourism. We are busy. We have a lot going on. We're getting a new website. We're creating a new visitor guide. We're revamping all of our photo libraries, our video images. We are creating savings and passports throughout our town. So we've been busy, but we wanted to answer just a question.
Yeah.
What should we do
in winter?
In Great Falls.
Which is a really, I'm going to say it. Some people hunker down on their couch for all the months of winter, however long it would be. Today is super nice. You don't have to wear a coat in Great Falls, but that doesn't mean that there's not snow in the mountains, which are just a short drive away, which freaks a lot of people out.
It's 54 degrees. But they have, 10 inches of fresh snow.
Yeah, so it doesn't connect the dots. But we have Montana's first ski hill, Showdown, not just minutes away from the downtown of Great Falls.
And Showdown is beautiful.
Well, I love the Little Belt Mountains, and that's where the Showdown ski resort is. And the first time I went skiing was there. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's all fresh from the sky, God-given snow. There's nothing machined about it. You're not getting fake ice cubes up there.
We're authentic here in Great Falls, Montana.
It's real snow, not fake snow. Which I've always wondered, if you're going to make snow, it's still just frozen water. Why wouldn't it be real? But
we can go in so many different avenues on this way. Just like there's man-made diamonds. It still meets all the criteria. But
no lady's going to say, oh, I'm okay with a fake diamond.
So if we were to plan an itinerary for your winter getaway in Great Falls, it's going to include skiing.
It is, just because if you've not done it.
Well, wait. Disclaimer, I've never been skiing.
You should do it.
I've never been snowboarding, but I have been on a ski lift chair.
Oh, what were you doing on a ski lift chair where you weren't skiing?
I was doing a photo session.
Okay.
So I had my gear with me, and I'm taking pictures of people in the ski chair behind me. And I'm not buckled in, and I'm turned around taking pictures. And
Did your heart skip a beat a little bit?
Well, long story. On the way out there, I did hit a pheasant. I texted my husband that I hit a peasant. Got to Showdown and didn't have service because we're in the mountains, and I wasn't able to tell him for a little bit. Oops, I meant pheasant, not a peasant on the way out to Showdown. So my heart's a little racing anyway from that experience. Get on this ski lift, first time there, and they're like, which run or which chair do you want to go on? I didn't know how many there are because they have over 36 trails on 640 acres of skiable or 600 skiable acres. So I find out that I'm afraid of heights, which is ironic because I'm 6'1". So, and I rode it up, and we also did it down too. So that's a different experience. So this season, I'm going to get out to Showdown, and I'm going to ski for the first time.
Well, I'm excited for you to try it. I just want to make sure we have video content to that we can share on our channels.
Yes, I'll make sure I'm just real super cute. Get a Bighorn Outfitters or head over to Shields and get the colorful ski jackets and the goggles and look my best for when I just ride up to the top and hang out in their little concession area, restaurant, whatever it may be, where I'm going to be safe, because my husband does snowboarding. And I know you get sore after it. Through the years, for as long as we have been married, every winter he says, you're going to get hurt because of my level of clumsiness. But they do have lessons there.
They do?
So if you do come to Great Falls and are visiting, they have ski lessons. And, I've had friends that do it, or that did it, and they went down the hill by themselves and they didn't get hurt.
Much like you, my last ski experience was when I was a sophomore in high school. It was also my first ski experience. And I don't need to tell people how old I am, but it was a while ago.
Okay.
And before we entered the podcast studio, we were discussing basketball, and you know how much fun basketball was. We both played ball when we were younger. I'm still not super coordinated. My coach...
Well, basketball's fairly large. It's a big object to catch.
Defense was my thing.
There you go.
Coach was always like, don't try and dribble. It's not a good look for you. He would often make jokes that he needed me to spit my gum out if I was going to run down the court because he was worried I'd fall. My husband has taken that same care and understanding in protecting my physical being. And every time I'm like, hey, we should go skiing, he's like, no. You should probably just sit on the deck and watch people ski.
That's probably what's holding me back is my husband. So, Mark, you're going to stay on the couch and I'm going to go skiing.
Be a girls' trip and we'll see who survives.
I'll return. I don't know in what capacity. I'll return.
So they don't have lodging at Showdown, Montana, but they do have concessions and live music every now and again on the weekends, which is a great experience. But they're like the tippy top of Little Belt Mountains is where their resort complex is and all their runs. So you really have the option to stay pretty much anywhere when you come do Showdown. And we think
you should stay in Great Falls.
Why not Great Falls? We are the closest city. I'm going to say, everyone, I understand being the third largest city in the state of Montana isn't a real city because it's still just 60,000 people. I know. Don't send in your comments.
But we have over 30 lodging properties.
And 32 unique shops in downtown. We have 2 shopping complex areas, Marketplace and the mall. You've got all the commercial districts or market on Northwest and 10th Avenue South. So if you want to pair your skiing experience with shopping and a variety of dining and maybe some dancing and some craft cocktails and
just a fun weekend, because let's say I'm doing this winter itinerary, I'm going to let you know this. I myself would not spend all day on the ski hill. I would probably arrive early, get a few runs in, and get back probably for dinner. So I can change and regain my dignity as not someone that's face planted a few times down the hill, but is refreshed and ready to shop downtown and have those craft cocktails, go to a cooking class, enjoy all the downtown life, go to, maybe a spa experience afterward to replenish my skin from the snow faces or snow plants. Snow plants. There we go.
Face plants in the snow.
Face plants in the snow. If you are like us, where skiing is not your thing, there is cross-country skiing.
And snowshoeing.
And fat tire biking.
Yeah, I've heard it both ways, and nobody makes fun of me when I say fat tire biking, but I think most of the people in the know just call it fat biking, like you did.
Oh, I'm in the know. So nearby, we also have Silvercrest Winter Trail. So that's where you can do your snowshoeing. Well, one of the places you can do snowshoeing. Rebecca, do you want to tell people what snowshoeing is? It's not a common term.
It isn't?
No.
Oh.
Okay, so imagine you're in Georgia.
Yeah, I would assume not a lot of snow there. So snowshoeing is, I would say, hiking on top of the snow. So imagine you put your hiking boots on and you head out onto the trail. In the summertime, you're not falling through the surface of the ground. You're just on the ground and you're walking and you're having a good time. Snowshoeing is like putting your hiking boots on and then putting, let's say, a tennis racket strapped to your hiking boots so that you can stay on the surface of the snow and not fall through.
So all you need is a pair of tennis rackets to snowshoe?
I'm trying to create the visual. I wouldn't recommend it. If you want to give it a try, go for it. I don't know if you're going to hurt anything.
Well, I've done snowshoeing once before, and my friends do it often too. And people take the dumbest smiles on their face when they have their pictures taken. They're just so happy. They're there with their poles and their snowshoes, and they're like, look.
I'm doing stuff.
I'm in winter wonderland. These trees are covered in snow, and I'm just walking. Having a grand old time.
We have some Instagram photos later in our feed, it's not been recent, that have that exact thing. Those people are just excited and they're having a good time. Now, I have never gone snowshoeing. Not at the urgence of my friends and family. They're like, hey, we should go snowshoeing. I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a lot of work. But I love hiking. I've also walked in the deep snow. Like you're on the surface, then all of a sudden you fall through waist deep. And that's no fun.
I think it's fun.
I don't like the feeling of being stuck in snow and you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I lift my legs up over the snow that has now got me buried to my waist?
I've been to Memorial Falls in the winter last year, or was the beginning of this year, and I didn't bring any snowshoe equipment with me. I just thought, I'll just stay in the trail. I don't know why I didn't connect the dots, that the trail is not cleared.
Nobody's out there shoveling you a path?
No, for some reason. I don't know why. They didn't get the memo was on my way. Come on. So I went out there and I'm with another friend and she's like, why don't you go up to that higher part and we could take a picture? And I try and walk up to that area and I did get a little stuck. Didn't have gloves on either.
Perfectly prepared for snow, right?
But the pictures turned out awesome. I did it for the gram. We had a blast anyway and it was gorgeous. Mind you, I'm one of those people that when I do hiking, I'm always looking at the ground because I'm like, I'm going to fall, I'm going to trip. My husband's right. But when I was doing this excursion at Memorial Falls, which is near Showdown, Montana, near Great Falls, one of our day hikes, I was looking up the entire time. It's so gorgeous.
It is.
The view, you're kind of engulfed in the trees. And I think that's maybe why I did get a little stuck in the snow.
So we did a scenic drive last winter when we had snow. We don't have snow yet in Great Falls, just to let you know.
We did have snow earlier this year.
October.
It left, and it's going to come back probably and fill in the blank.
And that's in Great Falls. Please, listeners, understand that there's such a difference between in town and on the mountain. You're going to get so much better snow and so much different experience on the mountain than you would in town, which I think is really awesome because some people don't like to be bundled up all the time in the winter.
And I don't want to have to drive in snow-covered streets in downtown trying to find parking and, mess up my pretty shoes.
Right. So in town, so much different, but we took a drive last year to find the snow and just, have that winter experience. And there is a pullout on Kings Hill Scenic Byway where you can stop and see all of Showdown in its glory, all the runs, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And we just stood there. And that's when my husband says, we should go skiing. I'm like, that's a great idea. And he goes, by we, I mean, not you.
Me and someone else.
I'm like, I think I could ski. He says, were you good the last time you did it? And I said, I didn't hurt myself. He goes, when was that? I said, I was a sophomore in high school. He's like, we might have to get you some lessons before we go.
Ski lessons, there you go, at Showdown again. I think that Great Falls during the winter really offers you the opportunity, whether you're traveling as a couple or a family, to have different itineraries run through the same time. So you can have someone go skiing, and that's fine, while the other person does ice fishing.
Yes.
Or the other person that doesn't want to, say, participate in cold weather activities and go to a museum.
I think the beauty of Great Falls as a winter destination is it isn't just one thing. So if you aren't a skier, a snowshoer, a cross-country skier, a fat biker, an ice fisher person. Maybe you're into the arts and history. Maybe you just want to go shopping. Maybe you want a spa day. They're all options here.
And we want to make sure that you're a good fit for Great Falls in the winter, too.
Right.
So don't expect to pay $20,000 a night, $30 for the glass of water at the bar before you have your $90 cocktail.
Not happening here.
It is $50 for an all-day ski lift ticket at Showdown, and you can rent all the equipment you need for $30. So $80.
All in.
All in $80 for a lifetime experience that your friends in Georgia will be jealous of.
Right.
You can come back to our amazing hospitable.
Don't come back to the hospital.
There we go.
Come back to our hospitable community.
And enjoy a real, authentic, get to know the community, drink with the locals type of atmosphere.
So true. And what is kind of different if you're a skier about Showdown is the limited lift lines. I mean, you're not waiting like you would in Disney World. 5 hours to take a ride. It's not crowded. You have the opportunity to be able to show up, get on the slopes, and just continue to do that all day long.
And I don't want you to go there and think that there's going to be some ski villain movie theme there. Because sometimes when I watch these winter movies and they show the ski slopes and the runs, I'm like, I don't fit into that crowd. I'm not that pretentious. So you could come to Great Falls, go to Showdown, Montana, and you won't have to worry about a rival skier challenging you for the ownership of the community.
Or being nitpicked because your outfit isn't perfect for the slopes, because I'll tell you, people are up at Showdown in Carhartts and jeans.
There you go.
And you're going to find that same type of people at Silvercrest, taking in those cross-country ski trails and doing their snowshoeing. You can even find that here in town where when we have snow in town and it stays, do fat biking on River's Edge Trail as well as snowshoe on River's Edge Trail.
So what is fat biking? So this is once again not another commonly known term, because fat tire is a common term because that's a beer. Fat tire biking, that kind of explains it more.
So just like you would strap those tennis rackets to your foot
oh, right.
to snowshoe and stay on top, the fat tire that you put on your bicycle keeps you above the snow so you're not sinking in.
How wide are we talking?
Well, it's not as wide as my butt, but it is.
Okay.
But I'm showing Monty with my hands how wide it is, but I don't know how big that is.
I'm going to go with 8 inches.
Okay.
8 inches.
So somewhere between 5 and 8 inches, let's say, is how wide the bike tires are. And it just helps you stay on top. It's really an amazing sport. I've never done it, but I've watched people do it.
And you can rent it here.
You can.
So you don't have to put a fat tire bike on the plane in the car. Run it through the drive-thru on your road trip here. You can simply rent it for the afternoon or the morning and enjoy along the River's Edge Trail. So another activity that is done on the River's Edge Trail that might kind of surprise you while you're enjoying it or visiting it is people hunt there.
Yes.
We mentioned this in an episode that will never air.
That's right.
But people do hunt along the River's Edge Trail. They're allowed to. It's within the hunting area, whatever jargon you need to use to distinguish that. So don't get scared if you hear a shotgun. My husband actually went hunting along the River's Edge Trail this past weekend, and I said, "Where did you go?" And he said, "I went near the Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea statue." I was around those areas. And I was like, well, that's a common area. So don't worry, people. It is allowed. And he brought back some ducks.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I had duck for the first time this weekend. Found out I didn't like it. Maybe the way it was cooked. But I was real proud that he did it and he finally got it explored.
Awesome. Yeah. The Missouri River doesn't freeze, so you can always fish from River's Edge Trail as well on the river. But we also have Wadsworth Park that you can ice fish from. Ooh. And our partners, Shields, will often do a demonstration out there during the winter so people can get a comfort level on what ice fishing is and what tools are used for that sport. So
ice fishing is just sitting and waiting, I think.
I would agree.
You get a hole cut, you drop your line, put your bobber. Do you use a bobber for ice fishing?
I don't. But we do put up tip-ups. Okay. Similar concept. Just wait for the flag to fly.
Okay. Well, I went ice fishing back when I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. So it's been a little bit. And I just have always have said bobber, but I don't know if my father corrected me or not. But you can do that here too. And you're going to take a pretty picture because it's going to be Great Falls.
The landscapes are awesome. And you'll know more than me, but the way the light hits in the winter is just stunning.
100% agree. And if you don't want to fish along the River's Edge Trail or fat bike, you can still just walk it. There are trails, there are areas that are cleared for all year use. And you can enjoy, let's say, the art along the River's Edge Trail, which are striking murals, then become this romantic Hallmark feel when we do have snow.
I can't wait for the Hallmark Channel to film a Christmas movie here at Great Falls.
Well, they should.
I don't know. Well, I don't know why they don't, except for the fact that snow is a little sketchy, but it's Hollywood. They can make their own snow.
Exactly. Or just come out here in October, because we can guarantee snow in October.
One of the things I was going to mention, kind of along the idea of gift giving, we've visited with a lot of our Canadian visitors in the past, and they'll actually buy season tickets to Showdown because it costs less for them to come down and ski Showdown than it does for them to go to one of their ski hills for one day.
What?
Yeah. So then they get 2 or 3 trips in, more than paid for themselves. So again, Canadian listeners, we sure miss you.
We do. We do. Remember, email us at podcast at visitgreatfalls.org. Tell us you're listening, and we will send you a $25 gift card to one of our partner businesses and a face mask. Number that we're limiting this to, still to be disclosed.
If you have fallen in love with We're No Damn Experts, or maybe you've just fallen in love with Maudie and I, because who wouldn't?
Exactly.
Go review this podcast. And when you do, and you tell us through the show notes page on our website, visitgreatfallsmontana.org, you're going to tell us, there'll be instructions that you reviewed it, and you'll be entered to win prizes from our partner businesses.
Ooh.
Businesses like
Element Spa, Skincare,
Roadhouse Diner,
the C.M. Russell Museum Family Passes, Teriyaki Madness, Highline Climbing Center,
Staybridge Suites,
2-night stay.
This just shows how much our community believes in you as a guest. That they said, yeah, we want your podcast listeners to have that opportunity to experience what we got.
To experience the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls.
I was at a conference one time visiting with a lady from Virginia Beach.
Oh.
She's a beach person from way back, loves the beach, was her big thing. And I said, well, I live in Montana. She says, you can keep it. I think it gets cold there. I'm like, oh, yeah, it gets cold there. What would you do in the winter? And I said, there's a lot to do. She says, no, I'm on a beach. So some people are not winter people. They are not Montana people in the winter. I get that. But us that are absolutely love the opportunity to put on our fancy coats, our scarves, our gloves, our caps, and get out and see Montana in the winter and do things outside in the winter. Some people go, oh my God, that's ridiculous. No, it's not. It's fine.
I think I alter from month to month where I'm like, yes, I want to go snowshoeing. I want to take a scenic drive. I want to look at the pretty Christmas trees, because that's what I call a tree covered in snow, is a Christmas tree. I want to do it all. But then I also feel that when you go to, let's say, a bar or a restaurant in the winter, I get a little bit of a cozier feel. Like, I just walked in and I'm sitting down, taking off my coat, and I'm welcomed by the bartender or the host, and they're like, what can I get you? And that kind of feeling or experience is, I'm now welcomed in here. I want to play trivia. I want to sit by your fireplace. I want to listen to some stories from what you guys did today, because a lot of people are going to say, oh, I did this kind of run down the ski hill. I shot an elk. I shot my first deer. I caught this many fish. And so those kind of experiences, I think, are limited to winter, because in the summer, I'm sitting outside. Yeah, it's a friendly environment. It's amazing. And I'm not digging summer, but
I just don't think a fireplace feels as good in the summer as it does in the winter, and there's just nothing more cozy than the romanticized idea of being out in the cold and then coming into the warmth and just sitting there with a hot cup of hot chocolate in front of the fire, getting excited about what your day was and what the future holds.
Or coming back from skiing and having some glühwein, because, out by the fire too.
Nice.
I did that this weekend. Went to Kellergeist. We sat outside, had some glühwein, had the fire pit going. Perfect little afternoon. Saw the Christmas tree lit up because it's right near the Civic Center. And I don't know how tall it is, but it definitely beats Rockefeller's Christmas tree.
To look at the pictures side by side, there's no denying Great Falls kicks Rockefeller's butt.
Exactly. If we're gonna have to narrow it down then. Let's say we're spending 4 days in Great Falls.
I was just gonna ask you. I was gonna say 3, so 4 days.
Okay, we can do 3 or 4 days. It's really how much extracurricular activities you want to do. We can. This is
what I would do for 4 days in Great Falls in the winter. Day 1, I'd get up early, which means I have to come in the night before. Day 1, get up early, and I'd head to Showdown, and I would ski. That would be the first thing. Because that's going to be the most exciting thing. I'm going to get it out of my system. I'm going to go skiing. So that's day 1.
Okay.
Ski Showdown. I'm going to come back that night, and I would probably do Celtic Cowboy for dinner. It's just a nice experience. As I age, the lighting in there is really good. Nice bright lights so you can see your food. And I didn't realize that until this weekend, that it was really an important thing for me. So that's day 1. Skiing and Celtic Cowboy. Next morning, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go have coffee and breakfast. My choice for this day, probably going to be El Banco, because I haven't had their quiche in a while, and I think I've mentioned, huge fan of their quiche.
I think you also like their almond pastries, too.
Yes, and they haven't had them for the last couple times. So, Jesse, if you're listening, could you make that happen for me? Because their almond pastry is amazing. And their flat white chocolate Oatly, pretty good. So I would Day 2, start my breakfast, El Banco, and then I would walk the River's Edge Trail. No need to snowshoe. I was going to say horseshoe. No need to snowshoe.
Well, you can see horseshoes on the River's Edge Trail.
You can. And I take in some of that art because that's really, I'm thinking leisure day on day 2 because day 1, I'm sore. But I don't want my muscles to tense up. And so I want to see that art, which you just don't take enough time to do. And then I would do lunch at Electric City Coffee. And then in the afternoon, I would do the C.M. Russell Museum. Again, it's a relaxing day, so take the time. When I finish with C.M. Russell Museum, I am going to grab a craft cocktail at N Bar.
I agree. Once again.
After that, I'm going to go have dinner at Roadhouse Diner because I've had 3 meals now. And usually I do a big breakfast, but I did small breakfast, small lunch in my mind, and then big dinner, burger and fries from Roadhouse. And then I'm going to call it a night. Day 3, I'm going to take my side-by-side and I'm going to go back to the Little Belt Mountains. And I'm going to ride the trails in the snow with my side-by-side.
ATVing.
Yes.
Yes.
The reason I'm doing that, 1, it's awesome. And 2, there's very few places left in the world. That's my claim. Very few places left in the world where you can take a motorized vehicle and just go into the mountains and explore. I'm going to get more done that way. So I'm going to do trails all day in the Little Belts. You could snowmobile, but I'm not a good snowmobiler.
Okay.
But yes, bring your own equipment, go out, have a good time. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to go to the brewery.
Yeah, you're going to.
Mighty Mo. I'm hitting you up and I'm going to have pizza and beer. Maybe a lettuce salad depending on how hungry I am. And that's on day 3. I got 1 more day to go. So day 3, after I finish at Mighty Mo, I'm heading to the world famous Sip and Dip Lounge. Because I'm sorry, no trip is complete without it.
No, it's not. Okay, you have to go see the mermaids swim at the Sip and Dip Lounge every night, starting at 6:30.
It's a must. Now, it's day 4, and I'm going to start my morning at Crooked Tree Coffee.
She's hitting the coffee places up. She likes these pastries.
There's nothing better to me when I travel than to start your morning with fancy coffee. Like just getting out, having coffee. And I am a huge fan of their bacon, egg, herb biscuit at Crooked Tree Coffee. It's good for breakfast. It's good for lunch. It's good for an afternoon snack. And pick up a macaroon, because I know how much you like a macaroon.
I do love their macaroons.
It can be breakfast dessert. That's fine.
Whenever I go there and I order, like, is that all? I'm like, well, I want to double it, but I won't because I shouldn't. But I do want to.
But this is going to be my shopping day because I love shopping. And so I'm going to hit downtown shops. I'm going to go to the Blue Rose, to Dragonfly Dry Goods. I'm going to go up to the mall and walk through because there's just I never take the time when I'm at home to do these things. So this is like a dream come true to me. Go to Shields, see what fun stuff I can find, go through the mall. You're still getting your exercise. Your muscles are staying loose and warm. And then I'm going to do lunch at
Harvest Craft Kitchen.
That's a good option. I would probably do that. Yes. Now, in between, I'm going to downtown, lunch, Harvest Craft Kitchen, mall, dinner, Tracy's.
Tracy's, yes.
Tracy's Diner.
And you can eat outside there still in the winter.
And they've got the little fire things up, which I absolutely love. And it looked amazing this weekend. It was gorgeous.
I think my itinerary would be a little less adventurous.
Oh.
I do want to go out and explore. I'm going to try and ski at Showdown. I'm going to come back to the Celtic Cowboy, have the fireplace experience, enjoy one of their craft cocktails. And then the next day, I'm going to go to the spa. I'm going to go to Elements, either get something done to this wind-chapped face, but be ready to go. And then I'm going to do my shopping. I'm going to go to Dragonfly Dry Goods. I'll go to Real Deals and pick up any other Christmas decor that I need. If this is in, December, which it is. And I'm going to go to lunch at Harvest Craft Kitchen because I would eat lunch there every day if I could. And then I would do more shopping. I would then go to the mall. And I would probably buy some cute clothes from the Blue Rose. So then the next day when I go to the C.M. Russell Museum, I can show up in my Blue Rose threads and be the sophisticated woman that I am and walk in and pretend like I know about the surrealism or whatever words, tone, lighting, shading this technique is all about, and no one will question me. If they did know who I was, they would ask, this is the lady that came in and asked about the frames. Who made the frames around the art? So that's what they know me from at the C.M. Russell Museum, is she's the weird lady that tries to repeat what the staff personnel say to her, to other people. Well, I took my husband there a few weeks ago, and Christina, the marketing director for the C.M. Russell Museum, let us get a sneak peek of their exhibition that is opening January 2021, and it's Firearms, Technology, and the American West. And they're creating this exhibition now. We walk in, and I am blown away by the display cases. They're not even filled yet with the Browning original rifles and antiques. But I'm looking at this woodwork. I'm like, who made this? This is excellent. This is dovetailing. Gorgeous. That's all around beautiful. And my husband, of course, is trying to poke around. And Christina's like, do not touch that. And then I said, oh, is there going to be plaques here? And she's like, no, it's actually called interpretive signage. So, of course, I can repeat that later. But Mark had never been to the C.M. Russell Museum before. And I said, hey, let's go to the ruler. And she's like, you mean the exalted leader? And I was like, yep, we're going to go see that one. Same thing. And I then explained them because Charlie Russell's painting Fireboat is right in that corner too. And I'm trying to explain to Mark like how much I knew about this, but this is all because I'm repeating everything. So this kind of level of intelligence is what I want to portray with my outfit from the Blue Rose on day 3, because I'm going to go to the museum. I should probably start the day though with brunch at Tracy's, just because they do have the mimosas and you can sit outside. Yeah, and then I would want to go to Pizzazz too. I want to do their sip and shop where they have a bartender on Saturdays and they'll make you, full service bar. You can poke around with their wines, all their cooking supplies, and I could, get inspired for my next meal I'm going to make. Get some Montana made Great Falls local ingredients and bring back the best pasta in the world home.
That would be awesome. And what neither one of our itineraries included were the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center, the Paris Gibson Square Museum of Art, the History Museum, the Railroad Museum, the Erskine Center,
I think this, we fell into that trap. And this is what visitors do too. Like, what is there to do? Still everything you can do in summer, you can do in some form in winter.
But you really want to think, how do you want to experience this? I really think winter causes for a slower pace. And so I revel in that idea because I always feel in a normal summer, when we have events and everything else going on, it just feels more rushed. And when it comes to wintertime, it becomes less restrictive. One of the other things you can add to your itinerary is going to see the symphony in normal years.
Yes.
Predicate this all with normal years.
Normal years.
So the Great Falls Symphony performs at Mansfield Center. There's always things happening from an arts live performance standpoint in normal years. So those are things that we didn't include in our itinerary, which you could.
We didn't really put any of the events that happen in Great Falls normal years. We have the Parade of Lights, which is gorgeous. I stumbled upon that, but they have the Christmas tree up in time of the Parade of Lights, which is right after Thanksgiving. And there's the downtown trolley, the nighttime vendors, and then following that, in the beginning of December is when they have the Christmas stroll. Once again, another downtown event where you can look cute in your coat.
And in March, which could be snowing, could not be snowing, it's really dealer's choice, is Western Art Week. So if your winter itinerary gets you here in March, no, you aren't probably going to get a lot of other things included in your itinerary if you're coming for Western Art Week. That is your itinerary.
But then people are going to like, what is Western Art Week? And you're going to just, this is a little bit faster pace of a weekend for the winter.
Yeah, you got to plan that sucker. And I will tell you, we're not going to delve in deep to it here because we're going to devote an entire episode to Western Art Week where we can get you all the details you need. But for now, it's around 16 shows, over 700 artists exhibiting in Great Falls over a week. And it's a celebration of famed cowboy artist Charlie Russell. And it's all art inspired by the West.
Holy crap, we talked about winter for almost 50 minutes.
And people said there's nothing to do in winter.
I know we dabbled with like how many itineraries you can have, but honestly, you could do anything in summer, just in the winter format. You can still go fishing, get out and explore, and art and adventure right here.
So you may be sitting at home after this podcast thinking, oh, I need to go to Great Falls in the winter. Yeah, you do. We know that. But you might need help planning. Maybe your itinerary doesn't match with what we said and you want something different. Email us, podcast@visitgreatfalls.org. Go to our website, visitgreatfallsmontana.org. Start planning your trip there. There's a ton of ideas. We've even got some great articles on how to spend winter in Great Falls. And whether it's 2 days, 24 hours, which seems silly, it's too much to get done in that time, or an entire week, we've got some opportunities for you to experience Great Falls the way you want to in winter, or in a way that you want to experience it and you haven't yet. We really hope you enjoyed our Winter Wonderland Hallmark Christmas Channel movie podcast episode.
We're going to figure out a title for it later. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. Don't worry.
But we absolutely love sharing what you can do in winter in Great Falls. And I hope this got you a little bit more excited about winter if you're not a winter person.
Yeah, so get off the couch and get onto a couch of the Celtic Cowboy.
Just move couches.
Move couches.
We love your support. We love that you're downloading and listening. We want to see you in Great Falls as soon as it's safe to be here and you feel comfortable getting out and experiencing it. We're ready for you. And we really appreciate you tuning in. Until next time.
We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
We're No Damn Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town. Damn, that felt good.
On the next episode of We're No Damn Experts, Rebecca and Maudie visit with an expert from the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center, and this is an episode you won't want to miss. We're No Damn Experts was produced by Great Falls, Montana Tourism with original music by the best damn musician, Joel Corda.